Hey, welcome to my channel, Squires, soon to be heroes. I'm just an old gaming head, and my gamer tag is Biozen, just in case you run into me sometime. So my father was a college chess champion. He wanted to make me one too, so from a very early age, he taught me what he considered the three classical games. Backgammon with some dice, but that shows you the idea of odds and statistics. And then Go, of course, the ultimate tactical game. Then that advanced and moved into Risk as I got to become a teenager. Risk and Stratego and Axis and Allies. I mean, they were the big games, coming up in your teen years, and I learned how to manage property and how to take advantage of good rolls and minimize bad rolls. And then from there, it moved into all the on hill games like Squad Leader, and with all the little cardboard counters that had the I guess it was attack, defense, and movement speeds on them. And they just had one game for pretty much every genre out there: the Eastern Front, the Western Front. And you had to keep track of all these little counters and the numbers and cross-reference them on a chart. And they even went as far as into the skies, in the water, and underwater with these games. Of course, one of my favorites has always been Starship Troopers. The books were fantastic. Even Robert Heinlein endorsed this game. So look at that art. Is that crazy or what? But it was the same kind of game again. We kept track of all the little guys on the counters, and it was an interesting game. A lot of detail. All it took was for one person to sneeze hard or hit the edge of the board and the game was over. And then from there, and of course you had your cross-reference charts for miss, hit, eliminate. And that, again, computers take care of all that now. Of course, we then moved into console games. I had originally had an Atari 500, had Pong and Breakout and a couple other very simple games. We loved them. We played them for hours. And then it evolved. The Atari game evolved into the 2600. And they literally had hundreds of games available to them, all very simplistic and all based on the same kind of principle, but a lot of variation. So, and from there, of course, it then moved into the desktop. And I had gotten an Amiga, which was the first Windows-based operating system outside of Apple. Microsoft had still stayed with the DOS, the big floppy disks, and this went to a small, harder disk, which we're all familiar with because that's our save symbol up in the corner of our screen. And this was marketed as a gaming computer, so they had me hooked. The best I ever got on this was wireframe graphics, but it still was a lot of fun. Then, of course, was the era of all the big games, since we now had the programming ability and we had the processing speed. I remember my old Amiga computer had an 8 megahertz processor. I actually bought an ad speed, it was over $100, I think. And I had to then solder it on the board myself. And that increased the speed to 16 megahertz. Woohoo! We were booking it. So SimC came out. I loved it. Better yet, Medieval Total War, man, and all the incarnations of those two games for years. And I was amazed at how the graphics changed over the years and became so much more detailed than they were in the beginning. Then became the hybrids of some of those early games, like Civilization and all its series, and Age of Wonders mixing magic with management, and Rise of Nations and all its editions. And they just went on and on and on and on. And then Command & Conquer, which is one of my favorites. And then, of course, StarCraft. Who doesn't know StarCraft, right? And then eventually, InnoGames at some point got involved. And I believe this is one of their first games, if not their first game. So, InnoGames, thank you for bringing us Heroes of History, Epic Empire. It's a fantastic game. I love it. And kudos to you, man, for starting back. How many years ago was this? I'd like to know. Anybody know when this was first released? So that's it. So if you like what I have to say, please join me. Let's have a couple laughs, learn something, hang out, have some fun. All right? So remember, keep your head in the game.